to this completely unbiased and wildly chaotic video featuring Grand Theft Auto 5. The following content may include reckless driving, criminal behavior, bad decisions, loud explosions, and the destruction of digital property. During these videos, I may also talk about pop culture, internet nonsense, celebrities, movies, games, and people in the chat. Any jokes, sarcasms, exaggerations, or insults directed at public figures, fictional characters, corporations, trends, or anything else are clearly comedic commentary and opinion, and are not statements of fact nor representations of my real-life views or beliefs. This video is purely entertainment. Everything shown happens inside of a video game where the laws of physics, morality, and traffic safety are optional. No real crimes were committed in the making of this video. No real people were harmed. No real allegations are being made about anyone living or dead. In fact, if it sounds ridiculous, guess what? You guessed it. It probably is. If you are easily offended, allergic to sarcasm, or have a hard time placing your personal biases aside, feel free to leave now. I'm just being unbiased, y'all. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Another day, another thing to be outraged about, huh? It just never fails. It never fails. You log onto the internet, and no matter how much you curate your timeline, you still gonna run into some bullshit. And the main reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm noticing that there's more examples on how to not live life, in my opinion, than there are to do what's right. And the people that are doing what could be considered quote unquote right are gatekeeping the steps to be more consistent in being right. That shit frustrating as hell. For example, there's a narrative going around where married people are allegedly now gatekeeping the information that is required in order to have a happy relationship, specifically a happy marriage. And I think that's funny as fuck to even say or even to put on to married people, because the first examples of how a healthy relationship should go should be your parents. So if you're looking to like celebrities or people outside of your family home to teach you about values and ethics and morals, you're already behind the 8 ball. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. The theory is brilliant. Now, can you go get it? Sure. But once again, you starting out behind the 8 ball because there's people that have been brought up in homes that instill this in you from a very young age. So if it's not in you, more than likely it's just on you. And I'm noticing that the things that people are valuing when they're not being taught values at home are superficial, regurgitated information from timelines and blogs. Nothing rooted in truth, specifically genetic truth that identifies with your makeup. Some might catch that, some might not. But yeah, there's certain things that are genetic. And I don't want to get into too much of that because there's so much that we could talk about when it comes to how trauma's passed down genetically. It's really important to understand that if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. So all of this talk about whether or not somebody really does appreciate life with someone else, all of that is subjective because there's no one size fits all way of loving somebody or being in love. You just got to try that shit for yourself, and you got to rock with whoever rocks with you wholeheartedly. I understand that relationships, especially in this modern era, are very difficult to maintain. But I'm also starting to realize that a lot of these people just aren't conditioned for it. You understand me? Like, if you weren't raised to be a husband or a wife, can you become one? Sure. But are you going to be successful? The odds really ain't in your favor. That's why I'm not trying to discount the exceptions, but the exceptions don't make the rule. I've heard so many things. There's a pot for every lid. And while that's true when it comes to dish and silverware, for people, oh no. Y'all got it twisted. Everybody does not have someone. Everybody's not going to have someone. Damn, I fucked up big time. My bad. Damn. My bad. But anyway, yeah, everybody's not going to have somebody. Yes, there's going to be some things that y'all gonna learn about in the future that's gonna really hurt y'all's feelings, because y'all assume that everybody's gonna have someone waiting on them and loving on them and shit. Like, no. Not everybody's gonna get somebody. Some of us are gonna be, oh my gosh. My bad, y'all. I hate when the phone pops up when you're trying to get your health right. It's so annoying. Anyway. Yeah, not everybody's going to have someone. I'm noticing that now, that people are over here trying to encourage one another. Oh, it's going to be somebody out there for you. What if there's not? Because even if there were the equilibrium of men and women in this world, there's still going to be people that just want to be alone. So what do you say to them? The people that willingly want to be alone. There's people that are going to opt out of this whole love and relationship thing. And that's okay. Ain't nobody judging them. I just think y'all need to understand that there's not a happy ending for everybody, and that happy ending doesn't look the same for everyone. So if you got somebody that genuinely loves you and appreciates you, hold on extremely tight if you can, if that's an option. Because I know there's a lot of things that we don't understand. God damn it, bro. Why is this thing tripping like this, bro? Like, this is so annoying. I hate when this shit does that. And I bet I got to go all the way up here. I better not have to go all the way up here, but still. Like, yeah, man, I can't stand when this shit be doing that, bro. Like, it's beyond me. Anyway. So, as I was saying, every pot does not come with a lid. If you've been in a household like what I grew up in, you're going to have pots without lids. You're going to have lids without pots. You might actually use a lid that don't go with that pot. And that's what I'm noticing is happening a lot of times, especially when you weren't taught how to cook. When your parents didn't give you the recipe on how to have a healthy relationship, you might end up using the wrong utensils to build this 4-course meal that you're calling marriage or a lifelong relationship with somebody. The issue is that a lot of people's parents didn't raise them, they just tolerated them. In all honesty, I realize it now more than ever that common sense is not commonplace. And parenting, whether it be gentle, helicopter, or any other variation of it, has its ups and downs. And as a parent, you're truly probably never going to get it right. Like, you're trying to instill values and putting in effort into someone else's life who has free will, according to most religions. So no matter what you instill in somebody, it's still their personal choice on whether or not they want to embody it. And then what you got going on right now in society is there's too many chefs in the kitchen. If you don't have your parents, you're listening to influencers. So if you're not listening to influencers, you're listening to your friends, and then you're probably listening to some friend that doesn't have all the answers either. That more than likely, especially if you come from the community that I'm coming from, didn't have a stable household that had those immediate examples on how to love one another. What the hell is going on with this thing? Anyway. So if that's the case, if that's what you're dealing with, then I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to have to put in extra work. And whether you like it or not, whether it's fair or not, that's not what we're discussing here. We're talking about what is going to be beneficial for your overall mental, emotional, financial, and physical health. Especially if you want a partner or a relationship with somebody. Oh no, you got to get the fuck up out of that anxiety and all of that nonsense you've been dealing with. It's non-negotiable. Now, can you have a partner that don't mind you doing all that shit? Sure. Yeah, you can. But is it your partner's duty to now train you on what it means to be a healthy, contributing individual in a partnership and relationship? No. And that's the weird part about what we got going on right now. There's people that are getting married that weren't taught or raised to be these types of people. And then now you got the spouse doing on-job training on how to be what you're supposed to be. Like, for example, this is just an example. I'm not picking on anybody. But you got men that are out here marrying women that were not raised to be wives. Look at marriage as slavery, like Leslie Jones. I don't know why we're taking her serious on anything that talks about relationships, but we are. There's women out there that these men are having to do on-job training, meaning they're trying to be husbands, learning in real time how to be husbands, while also trying to train and teach someone how to be a beneficial wife. And you wonder why men are frustrated. There are women out here that were raised to be wives that are more than willing to do everything they can to contribute to their relationships. As a matter of fact, they'll go above and beyond for not only the relationship, but for their families. And they having to raise a grown man. And then K. Michelle tell y'all can't raise a man. Yeah, that was the parent's job, unfortunately. And if the parent didn't put in the proper work, when you're dealing with damaged goods. And like I said earlier in the video, can you do it without your parents teaching you? Sure you can. Can you go get counseling, therapy, emotional support from friends, families, and others? Could you seek a religion and possibly have whatever God you're praying to teach you these things? Of course, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. But you're only doing that to compensate for what you're lacking. And that's a strong, valid, solid example in your immediate life, specifically your parents teaching you how the family loves and builds relationships. We're in a new era of loving and communicating. So yeah, it ain't always be rainbows and butterflies. It's compromise. It moves us along. Shout out to Moon 5. So yes, you are going to have to make some compromises. You're going to have to really, really lock in with your partner to make sure that you all are doing what you can for one another to help make up for whatever it is you're lacking. More specifically, make up for the examples that you were lacking in your youth to show you how to build these connections. Yes, it can be done, but it takes infinite work. And I blame your parents for not putting in that work before they brought you here. Yeah. I blame the parents. It's a lot of people's rhetoric that they're spewing right now. There's a lot of people saying different things that are hateful towards people. And that just sounds like spite that was instilled in them, not that they actually experienced. And that's one thing I can't hate, when somebody else appropriates someone else's struggle. Yeah, when you co-opt someone else's struggle and try to make it seem like it's yours, and you're going based off of stories and not actual real life experience, you're corny. You're like the worst type of person, especially when it comes to giving advice about something like marriage or dating or anything. If you haven't been in a successful relationship, specifically if you weren't taught and raised on how to be in these relationships, who are you to tell me anything? Weird behavior going on right now. And mainly it's online because I don't be around y'all like that. So I'm only seeing some of these narratives pop up online. In real life, yeah, in the real world, IRL, these type of conversations are wrapped up in 20 minutes, no commercials. Because authentic people that truly love the person that they're with don't play these types of games. All the semantics that we've been experiencing throughout our lives, especially when it comes to those types of people, it's gotten to the point now where the wrongest or the most wrong opinions are the loudest. And they're getting the most coverage because controversy sells. What did I say earlier? The people that are out here actually doing things that we would consider morally righteous or correctly, they're gatekeeping how they doing it. Mainly because the loud and wrong voices are out there chastising them and criticizing them and just waiting and praying on their downfall. So why would anybody in a healthy relationship, one that they genuinely care about, even share it with, first of all, the internet, which makes no fucking sense, but then share it with people that have no concept of it, not even in their personal lives? Yes, your favorite influencer couple or baddie may be in a relationship right now, and you might be living vicariously through them, but that's not healthy. That's actually a very parasocial relationship, especially if you don't know them. Yeah, like gauging on how you deal with men based on who cheated on your favorite celebrity is very, very strange behavior. And I'm only saying strange to be nice. I hate using soft language with y'all, especially the internet. But yeah, it's strange behavior. I'm not going to deal with no man because Leslie Jones said that marriage is slavery and I don't want to be in no legalized slavery. Like, bro, you taking Leslie Jones seriously? Leslie Jones. That's your measuring stick for relationship advice. I ain't never even heard of her dating anybody or being in a relationship for that matter. Now, granted, after this video comes out, I'm gonna do a little research, but right now, off the top of my head, I can't think of one person that's claimed Leslie Jones publicly. Is she a funny comedian? Sure. And I know everybody's talking about, well, she's undesirable because of the way she looks, but looks never disqualified anybody from marriage. It's facially challenged people all the time that get married. That don't disqualify you because you are, quote unquote, ugly. No, what disqualifies you from marriage is your behavior, is your mentality, your lack of loyalty, commitment, and honesty with the person that you're choosing to be married or engaged with. You know, ugly people get married all the time. So if y'all over here saying, well, she's undesirable and so nobody want her anyway because she looks a certain way, which I can agree with you. She's not the best thing to look at. She's very, very hard on the eyes. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, well, because she's hard on the eyes, she has no understanding of what it means to be married. No, I'm going to tell you like this. I think Leslie Jones understands that she, like she said in the interview, she wasn't raised to be a wife. So she's supposed to think like that, y'all. If you weren't raised to be a wife, especially by your father, you would expect somebody like that to make some asinine statement like that. And for y'all to even take her seriously just lets me know where y'all are. We got to grow up. We got to grow up. We got to stop taking relationship advice from people that weren't raised to be in healthy relationships. She was taught to get it how she lives. Want to know why? Because her father probably knew something that men are now realizing about her. Don't touch what you can't become. Love y'all. I'm out.